Hello, hello, hello. What's going on, y'all? Hey, it's me. Have you ever noticed that when your have you ever noticed that when your Instagram is glitching or something like that? It just it just starts glitching for no reason. I mean, like really no reason at all. And I'm wondering why. I mean, why is my Instagram glitching? All right, I'm figuring out why. Yeah, I'm like really trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, like why? What's going on with my Instagram? Why is it glitching? It has no reason or rhyme to it. I mean, to be honest, I don't know why. But here we go. Here we go. We're back in saddle. But it's all about stuff. But we can talk about movies, cartoons, TV, trivia, whatever. No drama. No, we can even talk about the summer. I mean, my summer is going good. I mean, I've seen some pretty interesting stuff so far. I never knew living in a I never knew living in a city you learn so much about history. I mean, I can go out my front door and literally see where there used to be like old style restaurants and old style bars. There's an old dress shop about 3 blocks from here. That used to make dresses during the what was it, during the American Revolution. There's a church up the street that's been there since the late 1700s. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I mean, like you see a lot of stuff around here, historical stuff, and basically it's all about the history. When you're seeing this stuff. I mean, people take it for granted, you know, and I see the kids. They're walking around and with their iPhones, in their ears and whatnot, unaware of the history, unaware of the history that's around them, and that's a pretty cool thing. If you got an, I mean, if you're inquisitive like me, because I like to find out about history and stuff. I mean, to be honest, I'm a guy who likes to find out about stuff, history, religion, you know, I mean, and I found out about religion too. Um, Religion, the Bible is written by the person most likely to be educated enough to do that. I mean, the Bible stories have been changed throughout the ages so many times. The Bible has been tampered with thousands of times. But then, yeah, the Bible is basic revisionist history, where only a shred of truth remains. But I mean, like anybody got a question about that? I mean, anybody? I mean, to put it succinctly, I would question a lot of it. I would just question a lot of it because even though it's revisionist history, you know, though it's revisionist history, we still have that nature in us to question everything. No, it's always a good thing to question stuff. Always. You just don't walk blindly into something. It's just like the movies that we see on TV. Like the kids see these daring movies about people doing daring things and kidnapping other folks, you know, and they think, oh wow, that's heroic. Yeah, it looks heroic on screen, but when you're actually doing it, that's a different story. Because those guns that those people fire at you are real. Those bullets that will hit your body are real. And don't think you're gonna get back up after the credits roll. Uh-uh. I mean, it's all about the movie thing. I mean, like most people think that life is like a movie. It's not. Life is real. Life is a real learning experience, and what people get from it is what they put into it. That's what people don't get. You see? I mean, it's up to you. It's up to you to uh, learn this stuff and go and do. I mean, that's what God put us here for. But it's up to you. I'm not gonna pressure anybody to do anything because you know what? You do it on your own. All I know is I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do. You know, I'm not bothering nobody. I'm not attacking nobody. I'm just on here expressing a few opinions, posing a few questions. I mean, I'm not doing anything to anybody or attacking anyone. But I do have a thing. I will do this. I will ask a question. How many of you out there has read the Bible and wonder how many books of religion done sprung up off of that one book? I mean, like, if you read the Bible, how many books do you think was basically written based on the Bible? I mean, come on. You got the Book of Enoch. You got the Book of Mormon. You got the book of what is it? You got the Quran. You know, you got the I Ching manual, which is the Shaolin equivalent of a Bible. You got, I mean, basically, it's it's a toss up. I mean, these books only contain a shred of the truth, but even a shred of the truth is more truth than what our regular Bible has in it. I mean, it's only written by the people who was around to write it at that time. I mean, come on. I mean, think about it. History was written by the people of that time. Like the stories that our kids watch on Disney, Pocahontas. Yeah, they didn't tell you that Pocahontas wasn't a woman when she left to be with John Smith. Pocahontas was a teenager. She was about 12 or 13 years old. You know, she went to the New World after hooking up with John Smith, and next thing you know, poof, syphilis. You know, I mean, think about it. The John Smith came with the conquistadors, and they came and they found the Indians in the New World, the Americas, and they decided we have weapons, we have armor, we have this. We're gonna take from them because they're ignorant savages. That's about it. And they did that. The Indians showed them how to grow corn. The Indians showed them how to build shelters. The Indians showed them a lot of things. The Indians showed them practical medicines for stomach aches and influenza and how to treat wounds and bandage wounds. I mean, come on. They stole so much from the Indians. I mean, and the Indians get no credit for it. I mean, they've done so much to the Indians. I mean, look at Custer. Custer was a general in the Confederate Army. Okay, Custer believed that the only good red man is a dead one. They don't tell you what they don't tell you in the history books is Custer marched into the Black Hills, which they called Little Bighorn back then, and he literally killed men, women, and children while they slept. When the children was getting up to run away and stuff like that, they were shot. Some of them didn't get shot. Some of them were stomped to death. Some of them were beheaded. You know, read your history books. I mean, they make Custer out to be such a hero, but he was really a punk. You know, the Indians reviled Custer as a coward. You know, he was a coward. You want to know why Custer hardly had any white troops under him? Why? Because Custer, Custer never liked black people. But the blacks were so honored by the Indians, during the war, they gave us a name. They started calling us the Buffalo people. Why? Because we were the strongest. What's going on, my brother? We were the strongest of the two. You know, we fought we fought with the strength of the buffalo, with the fierceness of the buffalo. You know, our skin was dark like the buffalo's fur. You know, but Custer was a coward. You ever watch that movie Branded, where they have the soldiers run away? Custer was killed as a coward by Indian. He was lanced. He was actually stabbed. He was killed, and they buried him where he fell, but they took his golden hair and they adorned a lance with it, a war lance, right? And they put it in the ground. They put it in the ground, right? They put it in the ground, tipped down, right? As a sign of, as a warning. His hair on that lance was a warning. Anyone who comes across that land, it's to let them know that it's consecrated land. You know? Yeah, never heard of it, but it sounds familiar. Yeah, what it is Custer went on that land not because he had to fight the Indians. He wanted the gold that was inside the mountain. The gold that was inside the Black Hills was called the Comstock Lode. Why? Because when Custer went in there and killed off the Indians, right? And they went in there excavating stuff, you know. And it was a guy named, it was Pinkerton that went in there and surveyed the property first, right? And it was this rich guy that knew President Grant at the time. His name was Comstock. Comstock bought the land from the surveyor's office, the Black Hills, for $5. $5, right? But when he dug up the gold, dug up some of the gold out of there, he doubled his return, you know? And whatever he didn't take out of Black Hills, the president got a kickback out of that. It's been through that since history. It's been through that since history, man. I mean, it's revisionist. It's revisionist history. But the part I'm telling you about Custer is very true. Very true. But they wrote it to make Custer seem like the Indian, seem like the hero, and the Indians are the villains because the Indians were defending their way of life, you know. But it was their women and children that was killed. It was their women and children that were butchered in their sleep by the Confederate soldiers. You know, their teepees were burned. They were given diseased blankets and contaminated food. I mean, you can't even. I mean, if you go back through your history, um, and see it from the history side, see it from the Indian side, the Indians were screwed. They were screwed. Seriously. I mean, Pocahontas' father, you know, Let Pocahontas leave with John Smith for a string of beads, beads and a sack of beans for his people. That's nothing. You might say he sold his daughter into prostitution for basically nothing. You know, the white men, all they ever brought us was syphilis and disease. You know, and new ways to kill each other. But in our history, we revere them. I don't know why we. Some people do. I have teachers nowadays that I know that I went to high school and was taught by, and they revere these people as heroes. But these people weren't heroes; they were villains. Yeah, they were villains. They were crooks. They were like your tech. They were like your tech balance. They didn't have any kind of technology except steam engine, but they were crooks because they used the steam engine to steal the land that they couldn't run across with a horse. I mean, it's easy to cover distances when you got a train that can travel at least 60 or 75 miles an hour. I mean, and then they started putting telegraphs up all over the place, which made the Indians even more mad because they were encroaching upon Indian land when they were putting these telegraphs up. I mean, and any Indian that didn't move, didn't surrender their land, was killed or put on a reservation. I mean, watch these so-called westerns, right? I want you to watch these westerns, and I want you to look at these so-called heroic white people and how they're so heroic, how they're so willing to kill the Indians. The Indians don't have guns. They don't have guns. They were using bow and arrows. They don't have guns. It wasn't until the Indians started uh, shooting the white men with arrows and throwing stones and hitting them upside the head and taking their guns that the Indians had guns. Come on now. And then you got, yep, the Westerns movies, they have pointed this out. Yes, they have. And see, the Indians weren't the aggressors in these movies, but they try to make the Indians the aggressors, right? But here's where the thinking goes awry. White men in these movies thought, I'm we're stronger. We have guns, right? We have the numbers. You know, we got a fort with soldiers in it. We could take this land anytime we want. They can't stop us. We got an army behind us. And all they got is 15 to 20 braves. Uh, you got 32 braves to a village. And you got the rest of women, children, and old men. And right, and what they do is they send out a hunting party. This hunting party is cited by a townsperson, basically somebody like the sheriff or the barber or something like that, on a hunting trip, right? And the guy decides, hey, I see an Indian. I see two Indians. If I go back and tell him this, then the army will come out in force and they'll exterminate these people and we'll have this land. That's what they were doing. The Indians were killed based on a lie. If you ever watch these westerns, yeah, I mean, think about it. Westerns like Western-based shows like Dr. Quinn, Medicine Woman, Hawkeye. Then you have Borderland. Um, you have TV shows like The Lone Ranger. You know, and they painted the Indians as bad guys. You know, but the Indians weren't always the aggressors. It was the white guys. It was the it was always the cowboys or the townspeople. One of them would slip up and shoot an Indian. Oh wow, I don't care. I shot him. You know, he's not white, so what do I care? That's how it is now. It's like we're the Indians and the cops and the white people are the townspeople. They shoot us. Yeah, I know. It's the same in the Lawman in Cheyenne. Yeah, the cops shoot us, black people. It's like shooting an Indian. They don't care. Hell, they're probably getting an award for it. You know? They don't care. And our young people is making it easy for them to kill us off. Why? Because they're doing the very thing that the white people want us to do. They want us to fight and war amongst each other. Why? So they could easily thin out the herd. So when they start killing us off, it won't be so many of us to fight against. Seriously. And that's what people don't get. And even with this cyber thing, right? All of us are against each other, and we really shouldn't be. All of us are against each other. We really shouldn't be. I mean, you got the policemen running out there and doing God knows what. Got some cops out there. They think just because they got a gun and a badge, they don't have to abide by the rules that they were taught. You know, they were taught to. You got some cops that will warn you, verbally warn you to halt. You know, they'll tell you either halt or freeze. You know, get against the car, put your hands behind your back or your head, interlace your fingers, spread your legs out wide. Stuff like that, right? But then you got other officers that will go off script. You know, they figure it's hunting season. They say a black person it's hunting season. Wow, let's shoot this. They figure I'm gonna shoot him. I'm gonna shoot him. Nobody can say anything. Nobody will do anything. I can turn off my body cam and do whatever I want. That's basically what it is. It's the Wild West but with technology. That's what it is. And if you agree, I mean, voice your opinion. If you agree, I mean, hey. If you don't, then that's okay too. But I know what I see and I know what I observe when I go out here in these streets. You know, I mean, these people don't care if we. I mean, these people don't care if we die, don't care if we live, actually. Why do you think they're trying to find another suitable planet for them to live on for us to stay down here and die? Think about it. Shows like Lost in Space and Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, 1999, Space 1999, where they established a moon on the light side of the moon, right? And the commander of the Eagle One spaceship, he he's off with his people, and they're trying to find new planets to colonize and terraform to make them more like Earth, so that can the white people that can agree with them can go with them. Us will be down here to die. That's just it. That's it. Basically, basically, those shows tell us one thing. When it comes down to it, we're not of one people. We're of two races of people. We're the Indians and they're the town folk, right? They will ride off. They will ride off, right? They will go to their new world or their new Shangri-La or whatever, and they will basically leave us to die down here with nothing. They will take everything as white people do, and they will leave us down here to die. And that's basically what it amounts to, folks. I mean, you can agree, disagree. I mean, all I know is, I mean, everybody's opinion is welcome here. But what I'm saying is, think about it. Think about it. From what you see on the news every day and what you see in these movies every day, do they not look the same? Do they not mirror each other or parallel each other in some kind of way? Think about it. I mean, in the Lone Ranger, The Lone Ranger has a buddy called Tonto, right? Kimosabe, they say means trusty scout. Me, I think it means master. And Tonto, yeah, you might as just be calling him stupid slave, because that's just what that is. That's just his role. His role is a sidekick, you know? Stupid slave. That's what it is. See it for what it is, folks. Hello, hello, hello. Of course. See it for what it is. I mean, it's all about if they kill it does it's all about if they kill us, then it's all good for them. They get they get to colonize another world, make the world as they want it, not as God intended. And that's how it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. My moderators, I don't have to do a thing because my moderators are always here for me. Yeah, I know who he is associated with, but here's the thing, though. It's all about averages, and not even about that, because now they're working on the drug to where they're trying to limit fertility in women and stuff like that. I've seen movies on it. I've seen movies on where they made drugs to where they'll limit the fertility of a woman, you know, to where you get pregnant once, boom, that's it. No more kids after that. Boom, you know, eternal birth control. Once your family bloodline dies out, that's it. You know. Thank you, moderators. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. I do appreciate you being here. Thank you very much. But yeah, yeah, I do appreciate you. Big shout out to DD Phantom Protectors. Yeah, big shout out to you and to your fiance. Yep, big shout out. All I'm saying is, think about it. Everything you see in the street, everything you see on TV, do they not mirror each other in some way? You're welcome. Do they not mirror each other in some way, shape, or form? I mean, the Indians, you kill an Indian during Custer's time, you were considered a hero. You know, you bring back people have desecrated the Indians' burial grounds. They've made knives handles out of Indian leg bones and stuff like that. Come on, you know. They've even made wigs out of. They've even hello hello Luciano. Oh, Lucario Sky Empire. Hello. They've even made uh they've even made knives out of Indian leg bones, and uh they stole artifacts from Indian grave sites, you know, and wrote up paperwork to make it seem like they found it or it come from their family. You know, that's what they do. And see, that's what I'm saying. These westerns and TV shows that people are like these people like so much, they don't look at the underline. I mean, sure, they're entertaining. You know, they're entertaining. They're action packed, but they don't see it for what it is. It's it's a fantasy with a shred of truth. Like John Wayne. Oh, he's a big burly hero, right? But what they don't tell you about your big burly hero is that he don't like black people. He don't like Indians. Anybody with skin not like his, he don't like. Period. Okay. John Wayne was the prototype for every townsperson in every movie up through the ages. I mean, you look at shows like what is it? You look at shows like Lonesome Dove. Have you ever seen Lonesome Dove? There's no black people in it. There's no black people in it, right? None. Um, Even the Roy Rogers movies, no black people in those. No. You got Roy and Dell, and you got Roy, Dale, and another guy, you know, and that's it. You don't see any black people in that movie. You don't see no blacks in none of those movies. You don't see no blacks in no movie. The only blacks I've ever seen in movies like I've seen a show called The Rifleman, where a guest marshal where a guest marshal appeared on the show. His name was Buckhart. Buckhart was played by Michael Ansara. Michael Ansara is Ansara. He's a Spanish person, but he played an Indian marshal called Buckhart. Buckhart was one of those marshals that he followed the law. He wasn't going to string you up. He was going to bring you in. No, but the rifleman, when the rifleman wore the badge, the marshal star, he's killed people. He's killed people. They don't show the episodes where he hanged people. Oh, the last wish. Okay, here we go. My favorite movie, and I'm gonna say it. My favorite show was Game of Thrones because it was not only a period piece, but it was historically accurate. And it was historically accurate. Um, Game of Thrones was a period piece. It was set in the Middle Ages. They had a lot of Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. But that's to keep the kids' attention. But it was a period piece nonetheless. Okay. See ya, Lucario Sky Empire. But I'm just saying, when it comes down to that, I mean, and you can agree with me, my moderator, when it comes down to it, and I'm gonna tell you, when it comes down to it, my faithful moderator, you got people who will basically, I mean, you got people who will basically, do whatever they need to do. You know, if you want to come up, let me know. All I'm saying is, you know, when it comes down to it, okay, yeah. When it comes down to it, it's like every time you turn around, Oh, you stay in the chat? Cool. Okay. We'll stay in the chat too. But what I'm saying is every time you turn around, it's always something. Like in these movies of today, did just a remake of everything that I watched when I was a kid. Everything. Everything from your horror movies to your your period pieces like Games of Thrones. Games of Thrones, if you ever watched Dungeons and Dragons, then you know everything you need to know about Games of Thrones. Seriously. If you ever played the game Dungeons and Dragons, you know everything you need to know about the show. I mean, it's like this. The bigger people step on the little people, right? Drive them from their homes and their lands while their kingdoms get bigger, right? And the little people starve in their little homes and whatnot, their little tents and whatnot. The kings and the queens, they get fat because they take the farmland from the people, you know, and stuff. That's how it is. The big feed on the weak, right? The weak are systematically killed off. That's how it is. That's how it is now with the. That's how it is now with our city. Yeah, the weak is systematically killed off. The homeless are displaced. Sometimes they're put in these institutions, you know, until they and they keep these people there until they die. Yeah, that's what happens. I mean, that's why I say all this cyber nonsense that's happening gotta stop, man. It just got to. All the drama and stupid stuff gotta stop. Cause whether we know it or not, we're helping them kill us off. We're helping them kill us off. Why? Because our young people don't have the necessary knowledge to, or they choose not to, they choose not to really involve themselves with the with the process of the white people. I mean, let them kill each other off. You know, let them kill each other off. Let them deal with their own children. Let them teach their own children. You know, we shouldn't be teaching them. I mean, we could teach them all the history in the United States. It don't matter because no matter what you do, the history is always going to be revised. Seriously, no matter what you do. It's always gonna be it's always gonna be revised. And it doesn't really matter it doesn't really matter because it just has to stop. I mean, we're killing each other off because we're like we're too wrapped up in ourselves to see that you know and that statement that he made that Steve is no god. Steve is just a person that likes to cause trouble. He is. He's a person that likes to cause trouble. You know, that's all he does. He's a person that likes to cause trouble. That's all he does. And basically, those people that are like him, they're the reason why we're being killed off. Because the more trouble they cause, right? You take you take resources from the actual problem to solve a minor problem like this online drama crap when we should be solving problems like why is our homeless being displaced? Why is our people being systematically killed? Why are we allowing our young people to be taught history by people who don't care nothing for us, but they will kill us in a minute. You know? Why? That's what I'm saying. Why? I mean, and then you got people. You got the you got the great white hope person comes along in the school. He's gonna teach. He or she will come along and he will teach the savage black people how to do this, that, and the other. Yes, I can remember. I remember watching shows like that when I was a kid. I mean, and I never put any stock into it because I feel those bull. It's a whole lot of garbage. It's a whole lot of whitewashed garbage. See, they show you the evil that we do, but they never show the evil that they do as a collective people. Like, did you know the white people were the very first cannibals? Yes. The white people were the first to take up cannibalism. They were. They were. Yep. First people to take up cannibalism. Yep. They were actually and they did a lot of stuff against God, creating false idols, bearing false witnesses against each other. You know, slavery is a sin. Yes, sin. No man shall ever own another man. It's a sin. It's one of the oldest sins in the book. You know, slavery, even though it's in the Bible, it's still a sin. Yes. And I'm gonna tell you, basically, basically, even though people, even though people say, "Oh, my family never kept," yeah, you don't know what your family did because you weren't there, right? But if you pick up a book, an unrevised history book, you'll find out all you need to know about your family. But you rarely find those, you know? You rarely find those. And we got to rely on revisionist history like Fahrenheit 454 and American X and American Me and all this other stuff. I mean, that's revisionist history. Even though it's a shred of truth in it, it's still revisionist history. No matter what you do, still revisionist history. You can say anything you want until the sun goes down to die, but it's still revisionist history. And you want to know why they took some of those books off the shelf? Even though they're revisionist history, they were inflammatory. Yeah, I can remember being in school and Roots would come on TV and all creation would break loose. I mean, like like kids fighting kids over stupid stuff. I mean, so you're a white kid, big deal. So you're a black kid, big deal. You're both human. Get over it. That's what the world is. You're both human. Get over it. But I can't. I mean, I can't tell you anything. It's up to you to want to embrace the lessons that you learn. It's up to you to take away what from what you learn. We don't have to make the same mistakes as our forebearers or our parents. We can be better. It's within us to be better. You know, it's within us to be better. You know, and we have to be better. If this world is to survive, we have to be better. We have to do better because life is rough. Life is rough enough without us killing each other. And life is rough enough without this cyber drama going on. You know, life is hard enough. We don't need this. We don't need the extra the extra stupid stuff. I mean, that's just what it is. But there you go. But in any case, anybody else got something they want to add? Nothing they want to add? Okay. But all I'm gonna say is like this: you don't go. What you do is you don't go around doing bad things. You try to do something, try to do one nice thing for one night, one person, and you just try to be a good person. Try to be a good person, and you can't go wrong. Yeah, try to be a good person. You can't go wrong. And I'm gonna say like this. Thank you, moderators, for showing up. Thank you. Those of you who showed up, thank you very much. Special shout out to Yuri Martinez. She couldn't be here today. A special shout out to her. Special shout out to DD Live Studios, DD Phantom Protection. Big shout out to them. Big shout out to Aubrey Live Studios, you know. Big shout out to Green Alpha Kensine. You know, she couldn't be here today. Big shout out to her, you know, and that's just it. I mean, big shout out to Zenny Cutie Pie. Big shout out to Stanley. Really big shout out to Bear Walker and her lovely daughter Autumn Parrish, who sells that great art. Yes, she sells art. Anybody who wants art can get in touch with her through Discord or Facebook. She prefers Cash App, Venmo, Zelle, or PayPal. It's payment and method. It's method of payment. But if you guys want art, you know, and you want an OC, you'll go see Autumn Parrish. Autumn Parrish. Or if you want to learn how to make your own OCs, you can go to Twitch and look up Kaiser Crimson. He does online stuff. You know, he does web design too, but he does art stuff. He's a great artist. So I'm just saying. And by the way, Autumn works on commission, so you know, talk to her about her art if you're interested. And I'm gonna jump off of here. I will see you later, or see you again very soon. You know, very, very soon. I see somebody came in, and I will say hi to that person even though they came in and got out. But I will say hi to that person anyway, you know, because that's the type of person I am. Hello and God bless that person that came through. And I am going to end this live stream. You guys be good. Be good people. God bless. You know, may the force be with you. Goodbye. Good luck.